I was telling you about. I want you to be on here so you can hear them live. Shannon's up first. We flipped the coin.
And he got it.
I got lucky,
Sure.
I'm the main event. And Shannon's the first one.
Sure you don't want to go first, Jeremiah?
You got this.
I'm just joking.
All right, Shannon's gonna tell a story, and that's a little segment. Then I'll do mine before Jay gets off the phone.
Yep.
Here we go.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Wait a minute before you go, Shannon. I gotta get him nice and right, Jake. Let us know what you think, Jake.
Oh, I will.
Alright, now you ready.
Ready as I ever been.
He's ready to go now, Jake. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good.
Okay.
Alright. Here's your typical Myrtle Beach trip. Okay, we was at the beach, me and Jeremiah, and a bunch of family with us. We all was having a good time that night. There was just a feeling in the air that it was just gonna be a night we all get trashed on, basically. I thought I was going to be the person who showed everyone who the top dog was. You know, that age where you're proving a statement to the older dogs you can handle yourself really well while drinking like a hooker on a Saturday night in Johnson City.
Can you hear him, Jake?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Everybody usually knows you're going to throw down at the beach just to get soaked in alcohol inside and out, at least one night, if not every night, which was every night for us. Cause the cool kids reek of alcohol and sweat like pigs. But early that day, before all this shit even happened, we was down there, and me and Jeremiah was sitting outside on the beach chairs in front of the hotel beachside. I keep hearing this guy talking shit, but I didn't know exactly who he was aiming it at. So I looked back, and I heard, "Yeah, you fat ass." At the time, I did have some weight on me, but nothing serious. So I was kind of confused and pissed off. So I get up out of my seat, and so does Jeremiah. And I start looking around, walking towards him, and he goes back inside and shuts the door. I bet he was kind of going like those fat asses meant some business. And that was my typical Myrtle Beach trip.
Alright, good job, Shannon. What do you think, Jake?
I kind of got into the flow at the end of
That's
it.
pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, you fat ass.
yeah, that was a crazy experience.
Get loud enough?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Do you want to wait for mine, or you want me to go ahead and knock it out? I'm gonna go ahead and knock it out.
Knock it out.
I'm gonna knock it out. I'm in the mood right now. Yeah. Might have to get that. Okay. All right. The best coach I ever had. I already started off. Fuck up. Oh, I done started on the wrong one. That's why I was reading page 3. All right. I remember when I was in the 7th grade. It was my second year in the 7th, to be exact, because, I was more focused on finger banging girls in the cafeteria than doing my homework, so they held me back a year. I was a straight A student, smoking weed, fist fighting, and finger banging chicks. I didn't have time to focus on school. I had better things to do. But anyways, there was another boy my age in the 7th grade who had always failed, or he didn't always fail, but he failed a few times like me. He was about 5'10", an Irish boy with red hair, with a full goatee in the 7th grade. And this is not you, Jay, by the way. This is not about you. You know who I'm talking about, though, don't you?
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, he looked like he should be a junior in high school. Big, ugly motherfucker. Looked like that creature off the movie Goonies. I'm talking West Virginia type. Wrong turn. Well, we had been cool and used to speak. One day he was walking out of the principal's office. He looked pissed off, so I was like, "What's wrong, man?" He looked at me and said, "Fuck you, fat ass." I was like, "Oh, hell no, this motherfucker didn't just say what I think he did." I'm sensitive about my weight, so that was fighting words. I punched that motherfucker right in the mouth, grabbed him, threw him down, then jumped on top of him and started laying to smack him down. I mean, this was UFC ground and pound way before they was any GSP. Fuck GSP. I was the undisputed champ in middle school, bitch. Well, the gym teacher walked in, and who was also the school's varsity baseball coach, which so happened at the time I played baseball. I'm thinking, oh shit, coach is about to get upset at me. I was wrong. He just stood there and watched me beat the shit out of this monster, so I said, alright, he ain't stopping it. I won the fight, and it's obvious, so I'll let this kid up. I let him up, he immediately broke his watch and threw it at me. So I was like, alright, I'm going to show this motherfucker what time it is. I grabbed him, threw him down, and once again absolutely destroyed him. At this point, I was certain coach was going to stop it. Once again, I was wrong. He watched me beat this boy for another 5-minute round until the principal walked in, and then he immediately jumped up. Alright guys, that's enough. As if that 3 5-minute rounds of ass whooping I just delivered wasn't enough. Well, the principal called us into the office. He brought me in last. Keep in mind, this is the same principal who just had problems with the boy whose ass I had to kick in reference of my weight. The principal looked at me and he said, call home, that's 3 days of OSS. Then with a gentle grin on his face, he looked at me and he said, I hate to do it, even though he probably deserved it. Ever since that day, me and the principal was cool as shit. About 4 or 5 years later, some younger generation of baseball players told me coach always tells that story about how you whipped that Irish boy's ass. That same coach is no longer coaching. He ended up getting fired for John Bones Jones and cocaine and Rod Jermian kids' moms. The best coach I ever had. The end.
That's funny. Ron Jones, Bones.
That's what he got. He got fired for banging somebody's mom or something like that. Got caught.